Well, if the people are honourable and the questions are honourable, but the honour of a question takes a lot more time to discover. At first hearing, you don't know whether it's honourable, but what you do know is that it's topical, that it's relevant, and that it is taking the discussion further in terms of more interesting areas and enlightening the audience. If it does all three, it serves a perfect journalistic purpose, but that is not setting the national agenda.
But that
is actually, can I just finish? Yeah. That is actually...
I love that. Can I just finish? You see what we go through when we are with you?
But do you see what happens also? Do you see why people think I interrupt? Just as when you put your finger up, I assumed you were interrupting. People do the same thing in my case. It's not that I'm interrupting. You weren't interrupting me, but your enthusiasm to come in was suggesting an interruption, just as my enthusiasm suggests to others. So when people say Karan's always interrupting, he's not. It's the nature of an interview that makes the other party think he's
okay, but answer my question.
Which is this, that journalists set the television agenda, they set a news agenda, but the national agenda is actually set by governments when they function well. When they fail to function well, the opposition sets it for them. Journalists don't matter beyond the fact that they raise critical questions, bring into focus critical issues, sometimes expose mistakes, improprieties, even illegalities. But beyond that, journalists don't do much more.
They don't take sides? There's no hidden agenda? There's no plant?
No. I don't know about hidden agendas, but there are two types of things journalists can do. When you play devil's advocate, you play it best when you take a side. There's no use not taking the side opposite to yours, because then what's the point of it? On the other hand, when you're doing a discussion, what you're trying to do is to bring different views to the surface, and so you're asking questions objectively from position of curiosity and from the position of exploring that person's viewpoint, and then you switch to a different set of questions for the other person. There, it's objectivity that's important.
No, but
in devil's advocate, perhaps you take sides to explore the other person's thinking.
No, but the question is, why would you interview someone when you already have a preconceived notion? I mean, why would you interview someone when you already disagreed, or you have to take a contrarian view?
You're making a fundamental mistake. When you take the contrarian view, it doesn't mean that you're actually adherent of that view, that is your own thinking.
But it's just a trick.
You take the contrarian view because that's a way of bringing to the surface the opposite viewpoint to the person's, and so you believe that's the best way of questioning.
So it's a trick. It's a way to get...
It's a strategy.
Yeah, but it's not a tactic. It's not necessarily a strategy.
But it's not necessarily Karan's view. When Karan interviews Mr. Advani, he'll be asking questions from a Congress standpoint. When Karan interviews Dr. Manmohan Singh, he'll be asking questions from Advani's standpoint. That doesn't mean that Karan has morphed into...
But they always say Karan is very, very soft on Advani. We'll come back to that immediately after this short break, in which you can ruminate about the devil and his many advocates. See you in a bit.